Our customers certainly have more information than they have ever before. Whether or not we can qualify that under a good education, I think is debatable. Because what I think you certainly have is
Yeah.
an overwhelming amount of insight that is right, wrong, partial, right. That I think is the first thing we need to address is like people haven't suddenly like found the golden ticket and now they are experts in the way they've ever been before. They might think that, but I would say there's more confusion and chaos in the market than ever before. So that's probably the first bit to know about our customers is there's confusion and chaos abound. Uh, I think that the issue with voice of customer is the same issue it's always been, making it actionable. And because it's now scattered in even more places, more and more spots where customers can connect and can share aren't owned by a brand, aren't monitored by a brand. And so the creep of how people think, what they feel, what they're actually doing, it's so broad. It's really hard to synthesize it in one place and then interpret and act on it. So that to me, I think is the biggest problem right now is just aggregating it in a meaningful way and taking meaningful action to it. I think the other thing, at least what I see in the larger size organizations that have a distinctive VOC function and then maybe a CX team, it's a bunch of silos and a lot of it's a feel good activity. Ooh, we see our MPS went up, or we have this sentiment chart and it's here. And really, all that it does is it enables us to continue to pursue mediocrity, which we've talked about. There's like, it's good enough, it's fine. Like, let's have the illusion that we're doing something without really having to do something. That's quite honestly the attitude that I see in too many organizations around VOC, rather than saying, "Can we use this as an engine for change? Can we use this as an engine for business insight? Can we use this as a place to actually drive our strategy?" A lot of us don't do that. We just talk about the data, we track it, we review it, but we don't change much. And so that to me around VOC like can get pretty spicy and heated pretty quick because I think we're really missing the opportunity there. Yes, it can be challenging, but I think what we can get available, we need to have a better job of discussing it with the right kind of cross-functional collection of people inside of our business, and then actually drive change. Because again, I think for a lot of businesses, it's a complicated thing, but that doesn't mean it should equate to noise. And for a lot of businesses, it's just noise.
What are those right metrics to measure customer experience? Okay, let me explain that a little bit more. Customer experience has been interpreted differently by the different leaders. For example, at a widespread, what my personal observation is, like customer experience typically is seen as customer support centric keyword, but it has evolved just recently for last couple of years big time that customer experience is not one department. It is like the whole organization's internal and external voice. How your targeted prospects and customers perceive about the brand is actually big part of the customer experience. What are those right metrics? If customer experience is measurable quantitatively, what are those metrics? Can you talk about from the basics standpoint on customer experience? What is customer experience really today and how to measure it right?
Yeah. So let's start with what has it always been? Like, you may have that uncle who told you that light beer is a health food, doesn't mean it ever was a health food. So if somebody along the way said customer experience is just a support function, you just got bad advice. That's never been what it actually is. Customer experience is the sum of all interactions a customer has with a brand and how they feel about those interactions. That's it. It's a byproduct. It's an outcome of everything that happens in your business. There is no, is it this? Is it that? It's an outcome. So, like, loud and clear, customer experience is an outcome. And if you understand that everything that you do is driving that outcome, now you have the right frame of mind because sales, marketing, service, support, IT, legal, all of it, all of it. So really simple as that. So then your question of like, what do you measure? Well, what matters? What are you actually able to take action on? I'm not going to give you a cheap and easy answer to say it's this one thing. because
Yeah.
we've already talked about organizations need to clearly define success. Then they need to think about it through two lenses. One, how will we know it when we've achieved it? And lots of businesses are really good at reflective measures of success, looking back and say we got there or we didn't. Most organizations are terrible about predictive measures. What if done will get us closer to that destination? So for me, I think it's going back and what's the outcome that matters most? And it matters most to your business, to your customers, and to your employees. Those are the three key stakeholders. And it might be three different things, but you've got to find a way to have them work in concert. So this is where if you're a leader in your business, put on your big person pants and you have to make some decisions about what matters and how do you walk the tightrope between what we need to do as a business, what we said matters to us, what matters to our employees, and what matters to our customers. Define that end state and then figure out what are the things that, if done, will get us there.